Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Tuesday, April 4th, 2023. There's a lot going on in the news, and the focus of this video will be about the EBS, Emergency Broadcast System. That's also been in the news lately, and we're hearing that we may be hearing EBS announcements. So let's take a look at one source you can read, and this one today, happily, I can give you a direct link because I've used this site before and YouTube doesn't object to it. So let me share the screen and show you what I'm talking about. There's an article just today on the compilation site Rose Rambles, which I don't endorse completely, but it does list information that I've been hearing from other alt media sources about an emergency broadcast system. Global martial law is imminent according to this, but let's just stick to the EBS portion of it, okay? It tells us that the military is training to implement it. I'm not so sure about the trigger. That seems like I'm not really getting any sense from the cards or my intuition that there's going to be all of a sudden out of the blue worldwide mandatory vaccination mandates with a lockdown. I'm just not getting that, okay? But that the timing is unknown with the few, that makes sense. That there'll be 10 days of communication darkness. And it talks about how, in other words, a lot of this is going to fulfill some of the 17 posts that have talked about the days of darkness and the EBS rumors that have been happening on alt media. So I had a viewer, Mike, asked me if I could find out when this will happen, and I'd like to just take a second to explain that the tarot cards aren't really good to get a win. You're not going to get a Saturday, the blah, blah, blah for an answer. But we can ask about the near future outlook and see if we can get some insights and information that way. And that's exactly how I'm going to phrase this question. Now, one of the things over the years is I've been reading in alt media, and I've been reading about the EBS system. And sometimes we're told that it could be a worldwide EBS thing that happens on every country on the planet. And in other times, we're told that it's going to be region by region based on need. For example, a really remote region, cattle country, may not need to have the same level of stay-at-home orders and information out there that an urban setting would. So I don't want to impact the information we get from the universe by asking a question poorly. So I'm not going to ask about a nationwide EBS, but I am going to ask about a widespread one. And widespread can mean even beyond my country's borders. Okay, so we're going to ask the universe with love and respect until it gives us some insights and information about the near future possibility of a widespread EBS system getting instigated, up and running, and let's just see what that is, what the potential is for that to happen in a widespread fashion. In other words, across multiple states and even multiple countries, but I'm not going to ask for global or nationwide because there are some areas that may not be affected or may not have access to technology to do that. You know, maybe there's a little island in the Philippines that doesn't have internet or something. So I don't want to impact the answer we get by asking it for. Let's find out though what the universe has to say about this possibility and if there's other insights or information that the universe wants to share. One moment. Okay, widespread, which can include multiple states or countries, possibility for the near future for EBS being done on this plane of existence and in my current timeline. Our first card is Judgment Call. Nine of Swords, Five of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, the Hierophant. Wow, this is getting interesting. Three of Cups, Justice. Oh boy. Okay. So you've seen the spread. I am going to stop the camera and mull for a few minutes and get the insights that the cards want to share, not just the superficial ones. But if that concerns you, please note they'll all be in the same position when I'm back. Okay, so we were asking about the near future outlook of the EBS system being done in a widespread fashion on this plane of existence in our current timeline. I tried to close as many loopholes as I could in framing the question. And the EBS is indicated by the judgment here, okay? Now, we're getting told that right away that the situation, we're not as close to it as we might think we are, okay? With the Nine of Swords, there's much less to worry about than you think there is, okay? So it doesn't look like it's, this is our kind of our present, the question in the present line. Doesn't look like it's going to happen immediately, okay? Near the recent past, we have the Five of Cups, which in a different type of situation or question could indicate a politician that I refer to occasionally. But we're being told here also here, we've got the Nine of Pentacles for our current situation. And that is, it's not a card causing any worry or the fact that it's something that's imminent upon us. But looking at the near future, we have the Hierophant showing up. Now, we do know that there has been some push-pull between the deep state and the alliance on EBS technologies. I thought personally that was solved as Starlink went up with Mr. Musk. So I'm not quite as worried about as I used to be. Plus, I feel like Space Force is solidly in alliance hands. Okay. In fact, because of that, I think this truly is a card of, it's a minor success card. It can mean other things in other questions, but right now it means that they're celebrating a minor success, that they have that capability. And we are looking at it still as a near future possibility with the Justice card showing up. Interesting to note that in these initial 7 cards, we have 1, 2, 3 major arcana, and 2 of them are showing up in the near future, which means the news we're getting that there's going to be one. It's not necessarily imminent, but it is in our near future. Let's get 2 more cards and see what the universe has to say. We've got the Magician showing up here, which is a card of manifestation. Ooh. And the Three of Swords, which can indicate both some heartache and some lies. I mean, it's got multiple meanings here. So in the context of our question, it is a distinct, strong possibility for the near future, but not for today. Okay. And when it does, it's going to involve some justice. Okay. It's going to be a white hat type of thing when it does. And it's going to be manifesting some big change that not everybody's going to be happy about. Okay. Now, I would assume the unhappiness will be the humans that have enjoyed the fiat dollar and being what they consider elite and things like that. So that's it for this particular read. A quick recap, because I want to do another one. I don't usually do 2 reads in one, but my curiosity has been piqued. So quick recap, we asked what the near future possibility was of the EBS system being rolled out in a widespread fashion, even across multiple states, multiple countries, and it's not looking like it's imminent, but it is looking very likely for the near future. Now, the reason I said I'd like to do a second read, I'm going to shuffle the cards and we're going to come back and do one of those 9 card spreads that I've done in the past. Okay, so it'd be 3 rows of 3. The first row will be for the coming month. The next row will be for 30 to 90 days, and the last row will be for greater than 90 days to see if we can get a closer gauge of when that EBS is in our near future. Okay, so Mike, I'm doing the best I can to work with how the tarot works with us and getting a when answer. Hang with me, folks. So again, we're asking for further clarification about the possibility of the EBS with a look at within the next 30 days, 30 to 90 days, or 90 days or greater. Let's see what the universe wants to share with us about that particular question. And again, this involves the widespread EBS system across multiple states, regions, even countries in our current timeline and on this plane of existence. So let's see what we get. Okay, 9 cards. Trying with the universe's help to get a few more insights about the timeline possibility for this EBS. Okay, the first 3 cards are for the next 30 days. This is our basic answer with clarifiers. "30 to 90 days, basic answer with clarifiers. "90 days or greater, our answer are clarifiers. Okay, well, based on this, I'm going to just tell you right now, it looks to me like we're looking at 30 to 90 days for the EBS. And I'm making, again, this video on April 4th, 2023. I say that because the Knight of Pentacles is a card of stability and dependability. It tends to be one of my military cards. Very stable, good foundation, though. He's also aspected by the Justice card on this side, and the Justice card did show up when it was talking about the EBS system. Okay, now next to it, we've got again 5 of Cups showing up, telling us again that this isn't necessarily a happy event when it does for everybody that's going to be involved. You know, if we're truly starting to get our justice and our world back, it's there's been a price for it, and that price will continue to be paid by good people, and finally by those that aren't. Okay, now the reason I said that was when I was looking at the current for the next 30 days. Okay, while the swords can be a card of written and spoken information, and the 6 of Swords is talking about getting us out of troubled water. I think this indicates more that with determination, the White Hats are still setting the stage for the EBS and the actions that come after that. Okay, and that's why I thought that the line with the 30 to 90 days seemed the most likely, with our Knight of Pentacles and the Justice card showing up. When we look at greater than 90, we get a completion card here with the 10 of Swords. Okay, and the King of Cups is about emotional, very much in charge of his emotions, and he's also stable, but tends to be sometimes a little bit lacking in compassion, at least for me. Okay, it's funny because we got a generosity card here with the 6 of Pentacles going on. So I do think that greater than 90 days, we're going to be seeing a completion of some of these activities here. But if I was looking for the EBS, okay, on our current timeline, then I would be looking for it in 30 to 90 days. Okay, second recap. We were trying to narrow it down a little bit and see what the near future possibility was, the EBS, for the next 30 days, 30 to 90 or greater than 90. It looked to my eye like the most likely timeline was going to be the 30 to 90 days. I said that because we got the Knight of Pentacles, which is a stability and a military card, showing up as our answer. Aspected very nicely by the Justice card, because the EBS system will be indicating that justice is coming, that nothing can stop what is coming, and the time is now. And just a reminder that those events, while there's going to be a lot of things to celebrate and endings to be happy about, we need to keep the White Hats and the Alliance and all those good people and good humans and good beings who are working to make these events unfold. We need to pray for the best possible outcome for them, for their safety, and that they'll be encouraged and steadfast and not be swayed or tempted. Okay, it never hurts to pray for those, and it's always good to intention and pray for the best possible outcome, because then you're not forcing your will on anybody else. You're asking for the best possible outcome, and of course that's always in alliance with what someone's free will says. But folks, it's getting to be close to time for things to happen. And while it does, again, one more reminder. Well, actually, I have a couple of reminders. One more reminder. We are just, as humans, learning our powers of manifestation. They're going to seem laughable to future generations, but they're not impossible to use, utilize, and have some effect. So again, I encourage you, as you view events or think about what's coming, first of all, don't have fixed dates in your head, because that gets you disappointed. Okay, quite often. I said 30 to 90 seems to be the most likely possibility with what the cards were telling me, but I'm not going to ask you to mark your calendars, and you don't have to come back at me if I'm not quite right. I never claim to be quite right. And remember, on my channel, I always have a disclaimer that at the base of it, these videos are for your entertainment. Now, that's kind of for my protection. I'm trying to put out an accurate and genuine product, and use my intuitive skills and the cards in a way that our loving creator will support and assist with. But just a reminder there. So don't mark days on your calendar. Just know things are changing, you know, good changes are coming, and we can help make them happen by what we focus on, what we say we will consent for our future and our reality. Okay. Don't even bother worrying about the other things if you can, because your energy flows where attention goes. So have your energy flow to the outcome, best possible outcome for our world, for one another, for our countries, for humankind, and for all those benevolent souls and beings that are helping us. Okay, and then one final reminder. My channel's gotten big enough that daily we have spam incursions. If you get a text that is supposed to be from me in a comment reply, saying to text or telling you that someone has, you know, that if they're claiming to be me, it's not. I will never ask you to text me. Never. Ask someone that's some of the people that have been emailing me back and forth for over a year. Okay, I don't do that. Okay, and I'm not going to suggest products or services that you should be. Those are spam bots. Please don't fall for those. If you have an urgent need to contact me, I have my email for this channel on my about section. I do not, at this point, because the channel's grown, I don't reply to every email, but I do read them. Okay, and quite a few would get a reply, but not all of them. At one point, everybody was getting replies, but I just, you know, this is a home operation, and I'm just one person with only so many hours in the day, so that's how it rolls out. Okay, but I do thank you for your love, your support, your encouragement, and participation. And please, please, please don't get caught up in any fraud. My moderator and I are removing the bots as fast as we can. But if you ignore them or just say, "Oh, Laura's told us in multiple videos that that is not her," okay, or come in after the bots, report them. You can report them too, you know, and just tell people, ignore that, it must be a bot. That would be fabulous. So until next time, thank you so much for your time and support. I send you love and light and all things bright. And I may be back later. We'll see what happens with the speech that Mr. T is going to give later this evening. If it's worth a read about or a talk about or discussion, I'll be back. Okay. Love and light.